Welcome back. 5:12 the time. A developing story we're following here. Contract talks between BART and its union goes on. In fact, some BART employees now say they've actually been harassed by angry riders. They say this comes in the form of insults, obscene gestures, and even rudeness ever since contract talks heated up in recent weeks. Incidentally, there's still no contract deal and no sign of progress after 4 days of negotiations this week, and that has prompted BART officials now to set a July 30th deadline to come to some sort of agreement with unions. All right, 5:13 the time. Let's get over to the traffic desk now. George Rapp has a look at how the commute's shaping up on this Friday. Hey, George.
Commute's shaping up pretty nicely, James. Of course, we always look forward to and hope for Friday light on Friday. Good conditions and much easier drive times. James?
All right, George, thank you very much. Now on to the latest with the budget battle this morning. State lawmakers pulling an all-nighter to pass a set of bills to try and close California's $26 billion deficit. And this is live imagery actually from the Senate floor where lawmakers are now casting their votes. You can watch it in real time, which is kind of cool. This is calchannel.com, and you can track. Let me scroll this down just a little bit. You can track their votes as they come in, the totals for the yes, totals for the no. Now, one of the bills that they have passed so far actually makes some fairly deep cuts into, well, a number of different areas. Higher education for one, college grants, health programs, welfare, even state prisons too. Budget funding has been slashed for. Monday, the governor and top lawmakers did reach that budget compromise after a rather long stalemate, and right now the full body here, both senators and assemblymen, are voting on it right now. And you can track it in real time this morning. So a little feature we thought we'd share with you this morning. All right, also, San Francisco, apparently, the city attorney there for that city is seeking to join a federal lawsuit challenging California's same-sex marriage ban. City Attorney Dennis Herrera yesterday asked a judge to make San Francisco a party in that case. Herrera says the city is uniquely positioned to provide testimony on some of the issues that the U.S. District Judge wants addressed at trial because of its longtime advocacy of gay rights. Back on August 19th, the hearing has actually an August 19th hearing has been set to consider the city's request and to set a timetable for moving the lawsuit forward. So we'll have more information then for you. All right, at 5:16, let's also get the latest on the weather this morning. It is Friday. A lot of folks are already making plans for the weekend, and the weather will be playing a factor. Evelyn's following that. Hey, Ev.
Good morning, James. That's right. Weekend's creeping up on us, and once we get Monday being our warmest day, then we start to cool it down a little later next week. James.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Evelyn. 5:18 the time. More headlines around the Bay this morning. Walnut Creek police are investigating the robbery of a Patelco credit union near Civic Park a little after noon yesterday. Take a look at this surveillance imagery here. The branch located on 1700 block of Broadway. The man reportedly entered the bank, showed the teller a note, and then told her she had a gun. Or the note at least said that he had a gun. He then made off with an undisclosed amount of money. And take a good look here. It's hard to make out, but maybe you might recognize who this suspect is. If you do, call police. He's described as a white man in his late 20s, stands about 6 feet tall, weighs about 200 pounds. He has an athletic build, we're told, and short, dark hair. Wearing a dark green baseball hat, sunglasses, a gray hooded sweatshirt, dark colored sweatpants. Well, you can see for yourself what he was wearing. If you recognize this person, call Walnut Creek Police. Also, police in San Jose have released a sketch of a serial purse snatcher believed to be responsible for several recent robberies in the area. Take a look on the left there. That's what he looks like. The latest robbery happened in a parking garage at Westfield Valley Fair Mall. As you can see from the sketch, he's described as a light-skinned male in his 20s, about 5 feet 10 inches tall, and wore a baseball cap when he committed the crimes. The picture on the right side is a picture of his vehicle, Volkswagen Jetta. That's what police say he left in. A cash reward being offered for information, so give police a call. All right, also in San Jose, the Santa Clara County Coroner's Office has identified Jesse Dominguez as the victim of a Caltrain accident on Wednesday night. Investigators don't believe his death was a suicide. The Gilroy-bound train carrying about 30 passengers hit the victim. Dominguez was Caltrain's 8th fatality this year. All right, 5:20 on the clock. We're going to take another break here, but we'll be back with just a moment with more news, weather, and traffic headlines for you. Let's take a live look outside here. We've got a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge. Traffic's still awfully light at this hour, so keep your fingers crossed it stays that way all morning long, as George says. We like Friday light. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 5:24 is the time. Just a brief look here at your 7-day forecast if you're making plans for the weekend. Here's how it's going to be shaping up over the next 3 or so days. So far, well, today probably the coolest day of the next 3. 86 degrees inland. That'll warm up to 90 by Saturday, 95 by Sunday. So if you have to do any yard work, Maybe do it today before it gets too hot if you live inland. Along the bay, you're looking at upper 60s, low 70s for the foreseeable future. And if you live along the coast, low 60s, well, even a mid 60 there by Monday. So far pretty mild, pretty typical for this time of year. We'll get another full look at the forecast with Evelyn coming up in a few. In the meantime, some state news to tell you about. It was a daring rescue caught on tape. Take a look at this. You see that burning SUV on its side there on the freeway? This was in Southern California. A gentleman being called a hero this morning because he stopped on his way to work, ran towards the fire, and pulled out a 3-year-old girl who was trapped inside. In fact, in a moment, we're going to see, there they are, reaching through the moonroof. As the camera gets a more stable shot here, you'll see that gentleman who's leaning into the car, pulling out that 3-year-old girl, flames all around, and there he is running away and bringing her to safety. As we said, he was on his way to work when he saw this all happening. He jumped out and did an incredible job there. The girl's grandmother was actually driving. A tire blew, the car flipped. That's how it happened. The grandmother got out, 2 other people in the car got out, but the little girl was trapped. Well, now that little girl's mother had the chance to thank that Good Samaritan who saved her daughter's life.
I'm so, I can't even explain the words. You can't thank him enough. Seriously, this guy is just my daughter's angel. He came out of nowhere. And I mean, for everybody that's seen that video, know that it's unbelievable, really.
I mean, yeah, she's a great kid. It was funny when I pulled her out of the car, I dragged her into my car, and she said, "Oh, that was really scary." And I was thinking, you have no idea. I was pretty shook up.
Yeah, that little girl had no idea. We understand she suffered a couple bruised ribs and she had a bloody nose, but obviously no worse for the wear of it all, and she's going to be just fine this morning. All right, now on to Fresno, where federal and state agents have arrested 82 people now for growing $1.2 billion, billion with a B, $1 billion worth of marijuana in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. The agents destroyed more than 314,000 plants at 70 different locations over the past 10 days. They also netted about $41,000 in actual cash, firearms, and cars. Agents believe this was the operation of several Mexican drug cartels. All right, 5:26 the time. We're going to take another break. We'll be back, though, with more in just a moment, so stay with us.